This is ITV News with Gamal Fambelet.
Good evening. More than 100 people were arrested today as they tried to storm Aintree racecourse just before the running of the Grand National. Police had to drag and carry animal rights protesters off the course as they tried to glue and handcuff themselves in place. It caused the race to be delayed by only 15 minutes, but the disruption would have been seen by hundreds of millions of viewers around the world. And the deaths of a horse during the race and another earlier in the day have provided a catalyst for animal rights groups to call for the national and the sport to be banned. From Aintree, Chris Skudder reports.
A bright and beautiful day for the 175th running of the Grand National, but a cloud hung heavy over Aintree.
No excuse for animal abuse.
Action from animal rights activists threatened to disrupt the race.
Around 40 horses have perished on this course, and undoubtedly there will be more.
Is it a physical protest a reality today? I mean, disrupting the race.
I think, there are many things happening today, but what we're doing here is we are peacefully protesting.
Police made 3 arrests in the morning. Spotters looked out for trouble from the Aintree stands, and security lined the course prepared for any disturbance. But then this.
Protesters have got on to the racecourse.
6 protesters managed to breach the perimeter fence using ladders and made their way onto the track. All were arrested. But it was just the tip of the iceberg. In total, 118 arrests were made around the perimeter, including 7 preemptively on the nearby M57 motorway.
The fact is, significant numbers of people were clearly determined to get onto that course and stop the race taking place. The numbers probably do surprise me, in truth, but clearly a coordinated attempt to stop the race running.
But the intrusion meant a 14-minute delay to the world's most famous jumps race. A fatal fall followed at the first, casting a shadow over a famous victory for the favourite Corach Rambler, jockey Derek Fox, and Scottish-based trainer Lucinda Russell. But while Corach Rambler was celebrating, this is the place where the horse Hill 16 was sadly lost at the very first fence, further fuelling now a raging debate about the future of the Grand National.
The race was delayed by some time, so you got to think if that's affected the horses anyway, and you've got to think of would that have happened if the race wasn't delayed.
It brings sadness to the sport. It makes you feel a little bit guilty for being here.
I know what people are trying to say about
definitely.
Animal cruelty.
The thoroughbreds, so the bones were run by, understand both sides.
One of the most dramatic and contentious days in the history of the Grand National. The question now is, what next?
Well, Chris is still at Aintree for us tonight. Chris, a total of 3 horses died at Aintree this week. Presumably the protesters feel this proves their point somewhat.
Yeah, ammunition for those against the race. 3 died at the meet this year, 4 last year, prompting one of the pressure group spokesmen from Animal Aid today to say the Jockey Club and British racing should hang their heads in shame over what we've seen over the past 3 days. The Jockey Club will point to the fact that at the end of the 1980s, they made this course a lot safer, making some of the fences smaller, dropping some of the ditches away. And then again in 2013, they made changes as well. But after what happened today, hard to see how they can appease the pressure groups from stopping this kind of thing from happening again next year.
OK, Chris, it's Aintree. Thank you.